Big Bunch back on another video. If you haven't got on this, subscribe, like this video, and the notification bell. And today we're going to be
it's going to be called our whiteboard dog training. And I'm going to read you some scripture here real quick. This is Matthew 7:24 through 27. This is about the wise and foolish builders, and then I'm going to tie it together here in just a minute on dogs. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against the house, yet it did not fall because it had a foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them to practice is like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rain came down, and the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against the house, and it fell with a great crash. So that talks about foundations, and it's talking about us, and that's building our foundation on Jesus Christ. And we're going to talk about dogs and building a foundation. And by no means am I a house builder, but you can't start at the roof and build down. You got to start, and I'm going to show you on my whiteboard here. So you got to have that foundation, a good solid foundation. When you're working, training a dog, and this is for any dog. It don't matter if it's a hound, a bird dog, a retriever, or just a little house dog. You got to start out with that good foundation in training, and you can't miss any steps. When you're building a house, you start with the foundation, and then there's steps that's got to go in place. Like we can't put the roof on now. We got to get all this part built up, and then we can put the roof on. The finishing touches. So if you're training that young dog, you got to start with a really good foundation, and that's just like with Mojo. What was her foundation? What do we have to start out with?
started socializing.
Socializing. That's a big thing. That's a huge foundation, a part of your foundation on dog. Getting your hands on it, loving on it, taking it. It rode in the truck everywhere we went, didn't it?
Yeah. Ever since she got home with us, she rode in the truck.
Yeah, she
everywhere.
was in the truck with us. So that way, when she, got to that point of where we were ready to start training, she had seen a lot of stuff. She's seen leaves blow across the field. She heard loud noises. There have been weed eaters around her. Where we weed eat around, we mowed around her. Just all that stuff builds that foundation. And then when you start that real formal training, it makes it so much easier, and it's going to go so much faster. So don't try, they say Rome wasn't built in a day. So don't go from, trying to have a finished dog when you need to start with that foundation to get that dog started. And then, it's going to take some time, but don't rush it. Start with a good foundation and then build your way up. And then we do have a big announcement. Hey, so we got a big announcement. We're going to start training
2 dogs a month.
A couple dogs a month, and that's bird dogs and retrievers. And we'll only have 2 dogs at a time, and we'll get them to whatever point that they're needed to be. We do have 350 acres that we live on, and we got another 250 that we lease. And so we're actually thinking about even having a little shooting reserve kind of deal. So if you come down and we're working your dog, you can hunt and all that good stuff. But if you're interested in us training a dog, like I said, we're going to only have 2 dogs at a time in training. That way we can focus all of our attention on them, and, on those 2 dogs, and getting them to where they need to be. So with that, I just want to say, and we do recommend, if you can train your dog on your own, I highly recommend it. It's a rewarding deal, but if you can't, and you're interested in us training your dogs, give us a holler, and we'll be called the BBK, Big Bunch Kennels. But if you're interested, just put something down in the comments and we'll get back to you. But if you are going to train that young dog, the foundation. And then for us, the foundation is Jesus Christ. And if you build yourself, your house on that foundation, the rains and floods, when they do come, you won't be swept away. So with that,
remember to subscribe, like this video, and hit that notification bell. Big no bunch out.